Your Honor, we were nose to nose, and he was screaming in my face. I could have never imagined in my life that I would reach a place where I would be afraid that the person who helped to conceive me might shoot me or harm me. You told me that my conception ruined your life. I think that Mr. Hennigan would harm me. I think that he would harm my minor child, and I think that he would harm my dog.
For the record, this matter is before the court on the respondent, Russell Hennigan Jr.'s motion to terminate a personal protection order entered by this court on March 7th, 2024. This hearing is being conducted via Zoom. However, Russell Hennigan Jr., the respondent, is present personally. The court granted his request to appear in person this afternoon. And ma'am, you are Tamar Henan, is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor, it's Tamaris Hennigan.
Yeah, good afternoon, Ms. Hennigan. Ms. Hennigan is appearing via Zoom. Is there any merit in the two of you talking off the record if the court left the courtroom to try to work out your differences? We have a mother and a father here. The court certainly does like to see family conflict. And obviously, sometimes you have a hearing, it just widens that conflict. And again, the two of you, if we just everyone left and the two of you talked off the record, would that assist in resolving this?
No, Your Honor, unfortunately not.
Okay. All right, Ms. Hennigan, Mr. Hennigan, can you both please raise your right hand to be sworn, please?
Yes, Your Honor. Could I notify you there's several witnesses that zoomed in though, so I wanted to let you know so no one would be left in the courtroom on Zoom without you.
Okay, well, we'll get to them. We need to, but this is not we're going to have maybe 20 minutes for this. I don't have a couple of hours for this hearing. It's a PPO violation. A PPO hearing should be quick. Well, do you both solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Thank you. All right, Ms. Hennigan, you're still the PPO, so it is your burden. If you could please state your name and for the record, please.
My name's Tamaris Hennigan.
And you are the daughter of the respondent, Russell Hennigan Jr., is that correct?
I'm his biological daughter. I'm no longer legally his daughter.
Okay, that's not the question. You're his daughter, correct?
Yeah.
And at your request, this court did enter an ex parte personal protection order on March 7th, 2024. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. And again, I've gone through your fact statement. What stands out in the court's mind is this alleged incident of February 27th, 2024. Can you describe your contact with Russell Hennigan Jr. on February 27th, 2024, which you allege occurred at a funeral dinner in Adrian, Michigan?
I'm sorry, were you asking me to describe it again?
Yes, I mean, again, there's a lot of allegations of this and that, and Mr. Hennigan responded, he's helped pay for your education, a lot of things. Those things are all irrelevant. What the court's focusing on one particular incident, recent, you allege on February 27, 2024, you had an altercation with Russell Hennigan Jr. at a funeral dinner in Adrian, Michigan. So if you can please explain to the court what happened on that date and location, please.
Yes, Your Honor. That was the date of my grandmother's funeral, and after the funeral proceedings and the cemetery service were completed, everyone went to the church for a dinner. When I arrived at the church, I was informed by my father, Byron Tolton, that Russell had approached him and asked him to ask me to meet.
That's hearsay. That is hearsay, Ms. Hennigan. What did Russell Hennigan, your father, do to or say to you at that time? What you're telling me, that's hearsay. You're suggesting some third party told you.
Well, I went with that third party to go meet with him because I was asked. And so I went to go meet with Mr. Hennigan to see what he wanted to tell me. I had no idea why he wanted to meet with me that day. We went into the foyer of the church, and I waited for Mr. Hennigan to finish speaking with some guests who were leaving. I sat down on a couch that was in that foyer and was also kind of in a corner of the foyer. And there were two other individuals present there with us. Another individual sat on the couch with me, and the third individual stood next to Mr. Hennigan. Mr. Hennigan proceeded to tell me that he felt that I had been disrespectful to him for something that I had said to him. I believe it was the day before. I can't say for certain if it was the day before, the day of. Those days kind of all run together for me. At which time I said to him, I'm not going to sit here while you complain to me. I thought that what he was complaining about was ridiculous, to be honest, but I just said, I'm not going to sit here and do this with you here. And I got up to try to leave. Mr. Hennigan refused to let me leave. He spread his arms out in a manner that I can best describe as someone who's playing basketball, who's trying to defend a shot. He put both arms out side by side. One was touching a wall. As I indicated, I was in a corner. I was stuck in that corner. He threatened to beat my ass. I told him he was not going to do any such thing and to move out of my way and let me leave. He refused to let me leave. He continued to yell and scream at me and threaten me. Then a third person placed their body between us to make an escape route for me. I left and went around the other two people that were in the room, proceeded back into the dining hall. When I got around him, Mr. Hennigan then came after me, continued yelling and screaming at me in the dining hall. And I told him to leave me alone. You're not even my dad. Leave me alone. You don't have any authority over me. At which time he screamed that he's the fucker that's going to beat my ass right now. And he continued to yell and scream until he was asked by other people in the church to leave the church. And I exited out the door that we had previously been outside of and went out to the front of the church.
Okay, and you felt that your personal safety was threatened?
Absolutely.
Mr. Hennigan, first of all, this is your opportunity to ask Tamar any questions. If you have any questions for her, now is your opportunity.
So you say that you did not know the reason why you were called into the other foyer, correct?
I'm sorry.
What's the relevance? Does it matter? What's the relevance? He want to know, don't you know why you were called into that area? And I'm just suggesting it's not relevant. It's not relevant why she was. It's a question of whether or not she was prevented from leaving this area and whether she was threatened. That's the only issue before this court. So go ahead if you have other questions for her, but whether or not, if she knew the reason for it, I guess it's really not relevant. There may be a good reason, but it's not relevant to the hearing today. If in fact she threatened you, you can get a PPO if you feel threatened. But she has testified that you prevented her from leaving an area, you put your arms up, you pursued her, you threatened to beat her ass. That's what's critical this afternoon. So do you have any other questions regarding her testimony?
If I can't question the testimony itself, it's not correct, but I can't question.
Go ahead. No, you can question her.
Your Honor,
can
he get closer to the mic? I can't hear what he's saying.
Okay. Okay, he's right next to the microphone. Go ahead, Mr.
Up here, is that better?
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, I was just asking if it was in regards to the situation started because she told me that
you got to put in frame of question.
Did you or did you not tell me the statements that you made were a joke?
Are you referencing the statements I had made the day before?
Yes.
Yes, I did.
Did you or didn't when you told me that they were a joke, did I or did I not say to you, Tamaris, we do not see to eye. We probably never will see eye to eye. But the disrespect.
Sorry, what's the question? I mean,
I'm asking, did I ask her that?
Okay.
Did I say those words to her? But the disrespect has got to stop. Did I or did I not make that statement to you?
You absolutely did.
After I made that statement to you, you made the statement that it was a joke. Am I correct?
I already testified to that.
Okay. After you made that statement, And I then said to you, did I or did I not say to you that all I'm asking you is for us to get along? And you
No, you didn't.
then, okay, you then made the statement that you do not have to respect me and that I am nothing to you and that I am dead to you. Did you or did you not make that statement?
That's a paraphrase of some of the things that I said, but that's not how I said it. And no, I'd be happy to testify more accurately to what I did say, but no, I didn't say that.
Under the understanding, and I heard you tell me that you did not have to answer any questions I had, you did not have to respect me, and that I was dead to you as far as you were concerned. And you then got up and began to walk away as you were saying that. And as you walked away and said, you're dead to me and I don't have to respect nothing that you say to me, is when I said to you, well, if that's the case, I can knock you out. And I'll admit that I said that, sir. I'll admit that. But she is the one that, I mean, this is going on for years. The disrespect, I mean, she just says anything that she wants to me. And I mean, I'm at a point to where this is gone far enough to where it's no longer like I can't say that because you said that's hearsay, but I did not block her in any way. Because like I said, I'm a man, I will stand there and said, after she told me that I was sensitive, I'm going to admit that to the court. I was sensitive because we just buried my mother. That I did not speak with Your Honor for 6 years to stand up for her, to my mother, for 6 years. I see my mom once in 2019, and the second time I seen her was in February 26th in a casket at the funeral. Because the defendant, she told me that you never stand up for me. These were conversations that we had. You never stand up for me. You've never done anything for me. And when she got into the incident, she was in the hallway crying, and I went to my mom and said, Mom, this is enough. And Your Honor, I stood up for her, to my mom for 6 years. And when she said to me, you're dead. Now I just finished burying my mom. And I mean, and now you're going to turn on me and all the things that I've done to try to help you. I mean, I couldn't even believe it. I really couldn't. I mean, and I literally, I'm going to hope that he's going to testify and say, because I turned and at Mr. Tolton and told him, this is why I cannot communicate with her, because she blew up. As soon as I said anything to her, she blew up. And I turned to Mr. Tolton to my left and said, this is why I cannot speak with her, because she will not sit down and talk. She always wants to blow it up into a situation. So and when she blew the situation up and then said to me, I do not have to respect you, and you are dead to me. Yes, Your Honor, and like I said, I did say, how about I just not get it? And like I said, I'm an honest man, I'm not gonna lie. But like I said, she's the one that provoked the whole thing. And I mean, I hadn't even seen her, Your Honor, in 2 years. The thing where she says that she was threatened and all that stuff, I hadn't even seen her in 2 years.
That's the court will take that. You've not seen her in 6 years. Mr. Hennigan, you do acknowledge, that you told your daughter, I'm going to, quote, knock you up?
Yes, sir, I did.
Okay. Yeah, did you prevent her from leaving that corner of the room? Did you put your arms out?
No, sir, I did.
After she left, did you pursue her?
No, she was right there. And when she walked away, she's walking away, she said to me, I do not have to honor you. I do not have to respect you. I did not pursue her. I stood right there in the vestibule where we were at. And I said, how about I just knock you out there? And then she went into the other room and then they left. And then I went through the same room and went down this way to where my wife and my other daughter was staying.
But you admit that was a threatening statement that I'm going to knock you up.
Yes, sir, I would admit that.
Okay. And I understand you're responding to a situation where you felt that you were being disrespected as her father. But obviously you've got to be careful with your choice of words.
Yes, sir. I like I said, I'm a man. I'm going to tell you the truth. I'm not going, and like I said, I tried to do the best I can. Like I said, everything that was submitted, like I said, and it's all, it's all been here or there, but.
Right. Right. Thank you. Miss Tamar Henan, was
Yes.
your father close enough to you to strike out to you and slap you or punch you if he wanted to at that time?
Your Honor, we were nose to nose and he was screaming in my face and holding me, not physically holding me, but blocking me into.
Did he ever touch you? Did he ever touch you?
Not with his hands. When I tried to leave, I tried to get him to move his arm and I would press my body up against the arm to try to go around and I could not. But Your Honor, I'm really asking if you allow me to call my witnesses. He's not being honest with you at all. I did not ask to speak with him that day. I did not provoke this situation. And not only that, but I didn't even say the things that he is saying that I said in the way that he's relaying it to you. And this is why, part of why I'm afraid of him is because I can tell from conversations with him and from the response that he gave to this court that he is no longer in touch with time and details. He's called his wife his fiance at a time when he had been married to her for 2 years. He's told you in his response that he hadn't seen me for 4 years, and today he's saying 2 years. He's telling you he didn't see his mother for 6 years, and then he says he saw her in 2019. That's not even 6 years ago. And I'm not saying any of that to come against him. I'm telling you, part of my fear comes with his lack of touch with reality at this point. I could have never imagined in my life that I would reach a place where I would be afraid that the person who helped to conceive me might shoot me or harm me. And he can paint the picture that he wants, that he's always been a helpful father. None of that is true. And I don't have time to debate it. There's a reason I'm adopted at this point. But what I did say to him that day is he said to me, you don't even respect me. And I said, no, I do not. You told me that my conception ruined your life. Therefore, I allowed myself to be adopted so that I could fix that issue for you. Now, please leave me alone.
Right.
And
There's clearly hurt feelings on both sides.
And there are
But
other
let me ask you, today, are you fearful of your personal safety and well-being that you're, hold on, I didn't finish the question yet. Are you fearful of your personal safety and well-being with respect to your dad? Do you think your dad's going to come after you?
I think that Mr. Hennigan would harm me. I think that he would harm my minor child, and I think that he would harm my dog, which is why I included all of that.
It has nothing to do with your child or your dog. I'm talking about, do you feel your father would harm you?
Yes, Your Honor, 100%.
All right. All right. And what will these witnesses testify to?
Mr. Talton will testify to the fact that Mr. Hennigan approached him and asked to speak with me. He will testify to the fact that I tried to leave. He will testify to the fact that a third person had to help separate us. He will testify that he saw him follow me when I did leave.
The court will allow him to testify, but he's got to testify as what he saw, not what
He will testify to all
your
that.
dad want to talk to you. So we'll let in, and we will allow testimony from Byron Tolton. Good afternoon. Are you Byron Tolton?
Yes.
Good afternoon. Can you please raise your right hand to be sworn, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Thank you. And Mr. Tolton, are you familiar with both the petitioner, Tamar Henan, as well as respondent Russell Henan Jr.?
Yes, I am.
And how do you know them?
I met Tamar's mom when she was 4 and married her. And I've been in her life since.
Okay, I'm sorry. So I'm sorry. You're married right now to Miss Hennigan?
No, I'm not.
Oh, I'm sorry.
We were married for 7 years.
Former spouse. Gotcha. I'm sorry.
Right.
Okay. Mr. Tolton, were you present at a funeral luncheon in Adrian, Michigan, on February 27th of 2024?
Yes, I was.
Where both of these parties were present?
Yes.
Did you witness any incident?
Yes, I did.
Between the two of them?
Yes, I did.
Can you describe to the court in your own words what you saw and heard?
Okay. Russ had asked me to be there so we could talk to Tamaris, and that way I could mediate and make sure nothing went on, who was acting up or whatever. So as they were talking, he accused her of disrespecting him, and she's like, "Well, if that's what you called me in here for, I don't even want to be bothered." So he's carrying on and talking to her. When she gets up to try to leave the little area, he stands in front of her, puts both arms out, like, you're not going to leave. And he got loud and said, "You're not going to disrespect me. I'll beat you down if that's what it takes. I'll beat your ass." And this is right there in the church. And we weren't in front of everybody at that time. It was me, my daughter Cassandra, Russ, and Tamaris. And I thought for sure it was going to go, worse than that. But I guess he respected me enough that I just stood pretty much between them and got her a chance to walk away from the situation. But we walked back in the area where everybody else was still finished eating, and other people heard him getting loud, talking about he's going to beat her ass. And they thought that me and him were arguing. And I just stepped in front of him and said, "Look, dude, you're better than this. We don't need to even go through this." So they thought me and him were arguing. All I did was talk to him, try to calm him down.
All right. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Mr. Russell, do you have any question of this witness?
Yes, sir. Once again, when I spoke with you at the funeral home, am I correct?
Yes.
When we sat in the foyer, did I or did I not say to you, after she said the offense that she did was a joke, did I or did I not turn to you and say, "This is why I cannot speak with her"?
Yes, you did.
Okay.
Yes, you did.
And after I said that to you, then did she or did she not explode? Because she did not have her exact words, and you said that I don't have time for this. This is not, I don't even see, this is not anything. Why do I have to sit here? If this is all you want, why do I have to sit here and listen to this? Is that not what she said?
Yes, it is.
When she then stood up, I asked her, and I said, "Well, I'm trying to let you know that it was disrespectful, the things that you said." Did I or did I not say that to her?
Yes, you did.
Did she not then speak to me in the tone and say to me, "I do not have to respect you. I do not have to do anything that you're asking me, and you are dead to me"? Did she or did she not say that?
Yes, she did.
And that was all said prior to me making any moves to her, prior to me saying anything about knocking her out, any of that. Wasn't that what actually happened? And once she said to me, "I do not have to respect you. You are nothing to me, and you are dead to me." Those words were not the words that she spoke prior to any yelling, prior to anything.
Right.
And once she responded and said to me, "You are dead, and I do not have to respect you," then I did say, and I told the judge, I did say, "Then how about I knock you out?" And like I said, I'm not going to lie. But the things that I just asked you, if she said, she just testified that she didn't know any of that, she didn't say any of that. And I said that to the judge, that she did, that she said that, and she just testified that she did not say none of that. No, and did I, like I said, I did turn to you and ask you. And I pleaded with you, actually. I turned to you with a plea. Byron, this is why I cannot talk to her. Did I or did I not?
Yes, you did.
It was a pleading motion for you to step in just to say to her, at least hear him out. Was it not? It wasn't like I was commanding you or being violent with you. The conversation was totally nothing but a simple, very simple conversation. Am I or am I not correct?
At that point it was.
And it did not escalate into anything until her words to me were, I do not have to respect you, I do not have to honor you, and you are dead to me. Is that or not correct in what was said before anything, any knocking out anything of those natures? Was that what was said? Is that what she said to me?
I'm pretty sure that's what she said.
All right, thank you, Mr. Tolton. I don't know if you have any questions, Ms. Hennigan and Mr. Tolton. I think it's the point's been made. Do you have any witness? Do you have any questions of this witness?
Yes, Mr. Tolton, how many times did you hear Mr. Hennigan threaten me?
I don't know if it's 3 or 4 times right then, that particular time.
Do you believe that anything that you saw me do was cause for him to threaten me?
No.
Did I try to leave?
Yes, you did.
And you already testified that he blocked me.
Right. I don't believe if I'd stepped in, you'd been able to walk away.
Thank you.
He was upset.
And you testified that when I went into the next room, he followed me.
That's correct.
You saw him follow me?
Yes, I was still walking with him, trying to get him to stop.
And did you see and hear him threaten me again in the next room?
Yes. That's when the other people also heard him say, I'll beat your ass. And I don't remember what else he said, but I just thought that was pretty crazy at his mom's funeral.
And regardless of whatever everyone's perception is of the words that were said that day from me, do you feel I was explosive towards him?
No, I don't.
Thank you. That's all, Your Honor.
Right. Thank you, Mr. Tolton. You're excused.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. You can hang up.
All right.
Miss Hennigan, presumably Cassandra would testify to the same thing, correct?
Yes, Your Honor, she probably would. And the only other witness that would tell you anything separate about this incident on this day would be Dewan Hennigan, who's also in the waiting room, who would testify that he was in the next room and heard the threat and saw Mr. Hennigan following me in that room. And then he left his position to come and check on me to make sure that I was safe because he heard the threat and came forward.
All right. The court does not believe we need cumulative testimony this afternoon.
Okay.
I think the court has heard enough. Mr. Hennigan, do you have any witnesses you want to call?
And there was no one other than those
Okay.
people.
All right.
Right there
And
at that time.
it sounds like you're all going to testify the same thing.
Yes.
Based upon the testimony that the court has heard today, let's assume for a benefit of the argument that your daughter was being disrespectful to her father. And, but that does not give you the right to block her passage from a room. She testified to that. Mr. Colton verified that. And you've acknowledged that you made the threatening comment that you were going to beat her down or knock her up or whatever along those lines. And that testimony has been supported by not only Tamaris, but also by Mr. Tolton. Miss Hennigan has testified that she remains today generally fearful for her personal safety and well-being. So I understand there's a lot of emotions at that time. Obviously, the court is not making any judgment on your raising of your daughter and being a good father. You seem like a very relaxed, gentle person today. There was a lot of emotions that night. But notwithstanding that, you don't have the right to block her passage or to make comments of that nature. So there's any comments. So at this point in time, based upon the testimony presented, the court's going to deny your motion to terminate this. This PPO will terminate automatically within 1 year. The day it was entered. I understand you have a concealed weapon permit. You want to carry that, but that's state law. This court did not deny your right to carry a firearm. That's something with state police and state law. I understand that's your concern. You want to be able to carry that. But that's what state law wasn't an order of this court. But at this point in time, the court's going to deny your motion to terminate this PPO based upon the testimony that's been presented. I regret that it had to get down to this. So the court will enter an order. You'll both be mailed a copy of this order denying the motion to terminate. And the court will just pray that the two of you can find some peace together. Life is too short. So I'd pray that the two of you can repair that relationship at some point in time. All right, that will conclude this hearing. Everyone can zoom out, and good luck to both of you.